Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, to be honest, I don't even know what we're doing today. I'm assuming we're gonna drink bourbon. Okay, Ben, some glasses here, but
Yes.
I have no idea what's happening. So how about some explaining?
All right, so I've prepared for you a mystery flight of bourbon.
Oh, okay, so bourbon.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so the reason for that is we've kind of talked about doing this before,
Sure.
doing like a video where it's like you don't know what you're drinking. And I am not currently drinking bourbon because...
You don't have to explain unless you choose
Well,
to.
no, I had the flu last week and my taste hasn't come back yet. And so we were going to film a review.
Side note, if you've seen his pants, you know he doesn't have any taste.
There's that as well. But we were going to film a review originally, but that would have been...
Sure, you'd have to fake it.
Fake and pointless, and
Yeah.
you know, we may be pointless here at the Bourbon Note, but we're not fake. And so tasting whiskey for me was not going to work today.
Okay, fair enough.
So I prepared a flight for you.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is just drink it like a normal flight and rate each bourbon.
Rate.
Yeah, or you know, like best to worst or whatever.
So like 1 SpongeBob, 2 SpongeBobs, 3.5 SpongeBobs?
Well, no, just like, you know, this is my number 1, this is my number 2, whatever. There is a theme here.
Oh,
And so, you know, I'll let you know what that is at the end of it.
okay. Does it spell a rude word or anything like that? 'Cause
No, I didn't even think about that.
okay.
I mean, it is 4 letters if it does,
Yeah,
so
that's
there's a
right.
lot of options. So you know what? While you're doing that,
Okay.
crush a Bud Light here.
That's a good idea. So I really don't feel like I have a good understanding of where to go. So I'm just gonna start with it. I'm gonna nose each of them. Ben told me keep the glasses in order so that he knows what it is, so I won't mix them up.
Yes.
I'll do a quick nosing, a sniving.
Well, you get snibs of each of them. Yeah, even that, you know.
Oh man, that's way different. Wow. Ooh. I have a theory. This one, the glasses.
This is going to be interesting from my standpoint and maybe from the audience standpoint too, because by now you know what he's drinking as well, because I
that's
will
true.
have put a picture
They've seen
or an
maybe
intro or something, yeah.
something. My first thought is I assume these would all be bourbons. One of them I think is not a bourbon.
Okay.
So
Now, if you guess anything, I'm not going to say yes or no.
yeah, that's fine.
Right or wrong.
That's fine. Let's wait till the
But
end.
feel free.
But yeah, so I will throw out because one guy drinking on the internet is not the most riveting of television.
But 2 guys drinking on the internet, that's why I cracked open the Bud Light.
So he'll provide the running commentary while I do a little bit of thinking, but otherwise I'm gonna throw out a bunch of like initial guesses before I maybe settle on this is Maker's Mark or whatever. So
I have to do commentary to you drinking?
no, not commentary. You can just entertain the audience.
Okay, go ahead.
Tell them that joke you know.
So many options. Greg gently brings the bourbon up to his nose, nosing it lightly. Looking for
Nothing
aromas of
unique on this one.
charm.
A couple of the others I got something kind of unique. This one seems like it's a pretty basic bourbon.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to get too in depth with each tasting. You know, just get a good basic. You know,
That one's a hard left turn.
different on the palate than it is in the nose.
Yeah, it's coming across as something that I think. So earlier you said bourbons. Are these all bourbons, or are you prepared to walk that back a little
Well,
bit?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay,
That's the thing.
okay.
So no matter what you guess or ask, I am Switzerland, right down the middle here.
Okay, because I think it's a rye.
You're going to create as much editing for me as possible, aren't you?
This one is a very rich, deep. It's also darker. I think this is a well-aged, maybe a serious bourbon.
Wow.
That's what I'm thinking.
A
Initial.
serious bourbon.
Like maybe something expensive. Has a single horn, painted gold.
A single horn painted gold.
Unicorn. I was.
Okay.
I was afraid that.
I was just picturing bourbons that have a horn on them.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought, wait, he made me think of Blanton's, and I wasn't referring to Blanton's. Anyway.
I was trying to think of what bourbons have like antlers on, like Blanton's, Old Elk. What else? Something else has. Well, Stag's got antlers on the bottle.
I feel like we recently did a flight, and this one was in it. It's a higher proof. It's well aged.
I should have gotten like the notepad here.
Yeah, it won't be that exciting.
No, just so I can sit here like a string, like, well, okay, interesting. Okay, right. And then just write things down.
Mm-hmm.
Bourbon number 3.
Bourbon number 3.
This is going to be the most riveting video we've done yet.
Well, that's my concern, and so I'm trying to rush through it, but...
Make it interesting, Greg, no pressure.
I really thought this was a American single malt.
Really?
That's what I thought. Now I don't think that, but I do think it's...
Just got the vibes on the nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I feel like maybe that is...
I think this actually will be fairly entertaining for our audience because they know what you're drinking right now.
And it is so difficult because I'm almost thinking this is like the Thomas S. More Chardonnay cask. Like
really?
It has a little bit of a left turn, like flavor-wise.
Okay.
So,
Does it taste terrible?
Because see, I don't hate it. I definitely get that flavor note that you get. It just, I don't hate, I guess, the taste of bleach.
I say like the bleach note. Somebody had just recently commented on the one, is either Amador, I think it was. It was one of those two where they said peroxide. And like that, that's same,
That's hydrochloric acid, I think.
Similar vibes.
Not getting a lot off this one. This one seems bourbon-y, like pretty basic bourbon.
Okay.
So, at this point, I'm not sure.
This Bud Light is pretty good. Just do a quick review of that. Bud Light.
You gotta start with a can.
12 ounces.
It's a good shape.
It is.
It has a dent in it. You know, I think every can I've ever had in my life has a dent.
Where?
Right here on the side.
Oh, there's one right there too.
Yeah. This one's kind of basic. Just, it seems to be bourbon.
Okay.
White bottle with the black lettering, bourbon.
Just the basic, like the old school potato chips, or like the old school generic.
Exactly.
Or like Dharma Initiative. Do you ever watch Lost?
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's like they kind of use the standard white label with black lettering, mayonnaise, whatever, ranch.
So nothing stands out very unique on this one. It just seems to be, you could even convince me it's 80 proof, and maybe it's even that one brand I like at 80 proof.
Okay.
But nothing, although I don't get enough flavor. Like, I don't think there's enough age for this to be the old Basil Hayden. But maybe, who knows, maybe I'm wrong. This one, I will revisit here in a second, but initial thought is maybe this is the Thomas S. More. This is well aged, like the Lot B, but I'm getting a little bit of weeder notes on it. So I was thinking maybe it's like one of the other Maker's Mark, like the cast strength or something in that range. It's hard to say.
This is actually fun for me, just knowing what these all
Knowing
are.
how dumb I am and how much so I'm getting really rich.
Hey, you could be completely off the mark, or you could be right on the money.
So chocolatey notes. Like there's a part of my brain that says this is that Maker's Mark bottle, the 10.
The mocha staves?
Yeah, the mocha staves. But it's not. It doesn't seem to be exactly right. But it sure. Like, part of me thinks George T. Stagg, but I don't think it's George T. Stagg. I think it may be Lot B.
Okay.
This one, revisit. I'm not here.
Oh, that's my phone. I forgot to turn it on silent. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, unprofessional. No one ever accused us of being professionals here at the Bourbon Note.
Well, occasionally. Boy, I'm getting rye vibes. Like, you could convince me this is a rye whiskey with the vanilla forward approached rye, weeder, Thomas S. More, so like wine finished, and like, what's that Varial Barton? Like, just like right down the middle.
Oh yeah, right down the middle, kind of standard.
Just bourbon. That's kind of what I'm...
You want to show somebody what bourbon tastes like, here's your Here's your pour.
It's got a little Buffalo Trace, though. I don't think it's Buffalo Trace, but it's like in that wheelhouse, though. It could be 90 proof. I know I said I was thinking 80, but... Okay, so I think I've reached the end. Like, I mean, that's kind of where my guesses go.
Did you drink them backwards this way then, too? Do you have like a clear winner or a clear loser, or?
Well, I know one clear loser.
It's me. The one who can't taste anything. I know some people are probably saying, well, you can't taste Bud Light anyway, because some people accuse beers like this of being just water, but it's not that I can't taste things, they just don't taste very good yet. They still got that.
So if I'm just like leaning into it, saying what's the best whiskey, probably bourbon. This is definitely feels like the most well-aged.
Okay.
It is a little aggressive with like the wood note. That's why I think it's like kind of like really well-aged.
Okay.
But it has more character and it's maybe more interesting of a whiskey. So this one's probably the best. This one, I'm getting a weird note that sometimes I think is pot still. Is it from Texas? I don't think it's from Texas, but it could be.
That's them fighting words.
Yeah, no kidding. There's just one little thing about, like, for the most part it's good, but there is something about it that is a little odd, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Pretty basic, just bourbon. Pretty basic, just bourbon. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I have a channel about bourbon because I like bourbon.
Sure. So number 2 is your favorite?
Number 2 is the most complex, most interesting, and seems to be the oldest.
Okay.
But it does have a ragged edge. There's something about it that's not, like, this is probably not my favorite bourbon ever in the history of the world. But it out of this flight.
Well, that'd be a bold
exactly.
statement if it was.
Yeah.
Like, this is hands down my favorite bourbon ever in the history of the world.
Yeah. In this flight, this would be the winner, number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 is good.
So let me. I'm gonna write this down so I make sure I get. Okay, so where's my Sharpie here?
Number 3 also has a weird note. That's why I think I'm thinking Thomas S. More, but.
So number 2 is your first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe number 1 is a rye. So I would go number 2. And then 4.
4 is your second place?
Yeah, it's just, but I think it's a low proof bourbon. Like, it's not super interesting, but it's fine.
Okay.
I think number 1 is my third place.
Third.
I think it's a rye. It's very vanilla forward. And then this one it's still good. Like, I don't dislike any of them. But number 3 has some, like, I don't know. There's some elements of it that I think are a little. I don't love. How about that? I'm sure I got this totally wrong, and I'm like gonna hate myself. But
okay, are you ready for the big reveal?
The big reveal.
Okay.
So we're gonna do 4th place.
I don't know if you're gonna hate yourself. Well, there's things about this that you're gonna hate yourself for. There's things about you're gonna love yourself for.
Oh. Is this like Evan Williams' Flight, and I supposedly like all of them, even though I...
That's exactly what this is.
That's funny.
But, so these are all Evan Williams except one.
Ah.
There's one outlier bourbon.
Okay.
So, interestingly enough, I poured these in ascending proof. So you thought that this one was the lower proof?
You're kidding.
And that could be just because you primed your palate with 3 bourbons before it.
Well, yeah, okay.
So, let's go. Okay, so now I have to tell you because the outlier was your last place. So there's 3 Evan Williams products and something else.
Okay.
Do you want to take another sip out of that, or
of this one?
Yeah.
So this is not.
See if it's not an Evan Williams product, but the rest of them are. Make sure my mic is still plugged in. I have PTSD from last time I unplugged it.
No kidding. Like it's a good bourbon, has really nice flavors, but it has this one, and maybe it's today, maybe it's what I just had for lunch that's really affecting it.
But in comparison to the other 3.
Yeah, it stands out.
But it stood out in 4th place to you.
That note, that bourbon note, is just noticeable, and today it's not working for me. It's probably, I don't know, maybe it's Blanton's or Buffalo Trace or who knows.
Ding, 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 ding. It is Blanton's.
Oh, wow.
So we had 3 Evan Williams products and a Blanton's. And you picked Blanton's in last place.
Wow.
So your first place, you'll be happy about this, is 1783.
That is not, I mean, it doesn't drink like it is that, like it's only 80 or 90 proof.
Yeah, you thought that one was a higher proof.
I thought it was a high proof. I was thinking weeder.
You notice the age on it though, because that's got 6 years to it.
Yeah.
As opposed to well, that's kind of like 8, but it's a lower proof, because that's the single barrel. So yeah, second place was a bottled in bond.
Okay.
Third place was a single barrel, and then Blanton's was last place. So again, to reiterate, in first place, Evan Williams 1783. In second place, Evan Williams bottled in bond. Third place, Evan Williams single barrel. Fourth place, Blanton's.
Wow. That's surprising to me in a lot of ways. Because if you were to ask me, I would think this would have been my favorite, but I did not get the high proof on this. I did on this one though, which is strange.
Yeah, at 90, I mean, it's the second highest proof. You know the reason I wanted to do this?
This one's what, 92,
93.
4? Yeah.
Yep. The reason I wanted to do this is because I've actually suggested Evan Williams 1783 as an alternative to Blanton's.
Totally
because
agree.
I think it drinks every bit as good. To be perfectly honest, I really do. I did a flight where I had Blanton's and like I think 1783 and like Larceny or whatever.
Sure.
The Blanton's and the 1783 were neck and neck. I did pick the Blanton's. And it came down to a dead tie, and I was just like, okay, screw it, this one.
Yeah.
You know, they were both almost dead even. So, you know, when I have people ask about bourbons, and then they, you know, like, oh, well, have you had Blanton's before? Is it really that good or whatever? It's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can go get. And, you know, it's good, but it's good. You know, you don't have to.
At $55, it'd be fine. But
yeah, $55 and available. Yeah, it would be fine. Yep. So, so do you feel good about this?
I think I really swung and missed because I really thought this was a weeder. It has a, like, I'm getting a weird, I think it's me today and like my taste profile or whatever. I just ate lunch.
By the way, this involved opening 2 of your bottles. I rated Greg's. I didn't have any of these. Well, I have Blanton's, but it's not open, so I grabbed yours because it's open.
You didn't open the Blanton's, did you?
No.
Okay.
Because you've already got 2 bottles open.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Go in there, open another one. No, I opened the 1783 in the bottled in bond.
Well, this one I killed last night, so I think that one will be fine.
Yeah, we saw that. And Lee was like, oh, there's one up in the cupboard. So I went up there and I was like, ah, shit, it's empty. So.
Yep, that's fine.
I'm kind of glad you picked, because this is, the 1783 tends to be your favorite.
Yep.
And you stand by that bourbon. And you've picked that one as your favorite in other flights. And it's your favorite in this one too.
But I feel like I got it wrong, though, in many ways, and obviously I did. Like, I don't know, I'm getting a weird flavor on all of them today, to be honest with you. So, who knows? I should revisit this flight again.
Well, next time you get to pick a flight for me.
Nice.
Next time we do this, whatever we call it, mystery flight or whatever.
Yep.
So, all right, do you have anything else more to say about these?
You know, you didn't lay it out this way, but I was thinking, side note, Ben called me earlier today and said, hey, we need to do a flight where you're drinking and I'm not because, and he explained. But I thought, okay, you could do 3 cheap bottles and an expensive.
And that's kind of what I did.
But I didn't pick this as the expensive one. I actually thought this was the expensive one. But I noticed this one as being the outlier.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
Anyway, maybe
well,
in the
that's
future.
good because all 3 of these are going to have at least something in common. They're different proofs, but you know. So, all right. Well, this has been Greg's mystery flight on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Share this video with a friend. See you next time.